Producer, set up a
Almost
live
there.
call.
Do you have different playlists?
What do you mean?
You should make a playlist that's like, Tuesday chats with Urik.
Yeah, yeah. I do have some playlists, but I have to. I don't know. I don't when I'm too old to do this the way it should be done properly.
Dude, it takes you 2 minutes to create a playlist. Come on. Don't be that
No,
lazy.
beyond playlist, you got to have a point. There, you have to treat
Oh
it.
no, I mean, yeah, look, what can I say about that? I don't think I could follow a script. I mean, I could, I could. That's a lot. I came up with it, but it would just be about like headings. I couldn't have a script where it's like, this is what I'm going to say. You know, I
Word
would
for
just,
word.
it wouldn't feel natural. And I guess maybe that's how most guys start. They don't sound natural at first, and then they, just get used to it because that's what repetition does. You
Well, you got really quiet there. You were talking, and then I was like, okay, I can mute and say something to somebody else in the room, and then you shut up. Thanks.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? I mean, you spoke to someone. What did you want me to do? Carry on talking over you?
Oh, that, no, no, I muted the stream so that you can continue talking and be heard so that I could say something without interrupting the stream. But then you stopped talking politely so that I could uh, say something.
I, I don't know how I did that, but sure, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so I'm glad to be here with Mazaroth.
Woot woot. Good to have you here.
Third, third episode.
We are
So
live.
I'm very proud of myself for this level of consistency. 'Cause my nickname has been Flake in the past. Uh,
You know what?
it's like
I am really amazed at your consistency as well. Um,
I don't like commitment.
there's a lot to unpack there.
I'll just leave it at that. Uh, anyway, while you're setting up,
Yeah.
I don't want to call it crappy because it's not a crappy game. It's just not my kind of game, right? I decided as part of my professional part of the games industry that I would finally just go into the indie subreddits. Now I had to create a Reddit account because I don't actually have a Reddit account. I've never actually been much on Reddit
Okay.
in my life. I kind of missed the whole Reddit thing. I went from forums to YouTube and kind of missed Reddit altogether.
You miss the Reddit
Um,
thing. What do you mean miss the Reddit thing?
I was never on Reddit. I was an internet person that was never on Reddit. Like when it first started, or even now, like it's just not a thing that I knew much about. I mean, I knew what Reddit was, obviously, but I'd never got intrigued into like going into the thousands of subreddits that they are. Like I said, I was very big into game forums, games I liked, and I was very active in a lot of forums and um, blogs as well, and that kind of stuff. And then just never
Anything?
did Imgur for a bit, and then went on to YouTube. And then that's kind of where my social media is at the moment. Is pretty much all. I mean, is YouTube social media? Is it classified as social media?
I think it's still considered social media.
Yeah, I mean, I see it more of a video platform, but I guess so. I mean, now you can like send direct messages to people up there. So I guess so.
I do
Seen like
not what I'm
I've
gonna
seen.
play. You should play with me even if you don't like the game.
Eh, I'll just talk. I'll talk and like I said, I'll tell you about my adventures into the
Well, the great thing about this
indie.
game is that it's auto battler. So you just set it up and you let your people run. It's like being a people manager. You give them support, the development, the tools they need to succeed. You promote them. Very important. Sorry, go on.
employer there with you. That you on everything leads to people management.
It does. You know what I was thinking the other day? I heard
Oh,
some.
100% it does. Like everyone should, like anyone that is in management should have done at least a year of real, more than a year, like 3 years of real people management. I don't care if you're in production, I don't care if you're in operations. Like if you look after people, you should go through people management training and you should be in a people management role because that's what you are. When you're a manager, you're managing people. That's the whole thing. And it's
Well,
such a big
well,
difference when you're working with people in like customer service that have done people management and people that have never done people management.
I
And I'm like,
noticed that you
I'm a
people on this
boss and a
side of the
manager.
Atlantic really focus on this whole training thing.
Yeah, because we don't do what do you people call it? Battlefield promotions. I remember when a certain someone at a certain company we worked at, right, said, "Oh, we're doing battlefield promotions," because I'd come into work one day and Agent X was now a supervisor. I'm like, how did that happen? Oh, a battlefield promotion. And I'd be like, let's call him Ricky Bobby. And Ricky Bobby, right, would be like, yeah, we just you know, with these fucking shorts and sandals in the middle of winter. And you would just be like, yeah, we just battlefield promoted him. I was like, what does that mean? It's like, well, he was good at what he was doing, so we just gave him a better job. And I was like, dude, this isn't war, first of all, and second of all, that is a horrible way of promoting someone. You're just setting them up for failure. Like I was feeling sorry for the guy that they promoted because it's just failure bound to happen. Anyway, I digress, and if this is the first time you're listening to this, to any of this, you'll soon see that I'm like a fucking mayfly, right? Just going from thing to thing to thing to thing.
Is that what mayflies do? They don't like find one thing to sit in and
I don't know, man. That was a bad analogy, and I just felt like
it
saying the word
was.
mayfly because I hadn't said mayfly in a while. I remember the last time I said mayfly.
You could have said dragonfly. Could have said butterfly. There's so many other flies you could have used that I think would have been a much better picture.
So, everyone forgets about the plight of the mayfly. So someone's got to represent him.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're happy about that.
Of course they are. Anyway,
So you said earlier, before we
yes.
started, that you found 3 indie games. What are you talking about? Which
Yeah,
indie games? So
so
how did you find them? Like, did you find them in the closet, being held by Rainbow Bright? What's going on?
hang on. So this is what I was going to say to you. Adventure into Reddit led me to the subreddit called Indie Games,
Mm-hmm.
and I promptly created an account. I got a little bit annoyed by the rules because, again, I don't understand why there is an association between you young indies and like just a status that of what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't
There's a
know.
word.
What do you mean by
Arrogance, and like so I'm gonna read out the indie game rules.
Okay.
Game promotion must include an image, GIF, video showing game footage. Why can't I just
Wow,
post
you really are new to Reddit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reddit is where failed
Cannot
administrators have gone to.
clearly because we're getting to that. You cannot evading auto mod. I don't even know how you would do that, but okay, I will not evade auto mod because I don't know what I'd do that. Next there is don't be posting offices for services. Okay, so first of all, that sentence is so grammatically incorrect, it's hilarious, right? But don't be posting office for services. Why not? So if I come across a game and I'm like, hey, you know what? I know some artists that could help you with that, because they might say, I love this game, but I'm having a problem with this. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to DM you to tell you. Okay, fine. Don't overpost. Post 2 times per week. Really? I mean, I'm reading this and I'm like,
But start your own.
just
You can start your own Reddit, and then you can be the mod and make up your own rules.
yeah, but who's going to come to that? Let's be honest.
Right. Who's going to come to fucking Indie where you can only talk twice a week?
Apparently, people have been coming since 2009 because that's when it was first created. I'm like, I wonder if the person who created this, put these rules in, has come back to them. He must have, because you'll enjoy the 13th rule, which is the final. We're only on rule 4. Rule 5, no adult content. I mean, what classifies as adult content? Right. So anything that is of mature
idle?
audiences.
Idle?
Adult,
Oh,
adult.
adult. Okay, okay.
So yeah, excuse my accent. So no adult content,
I,
adult
I,
content.
I don't know if I can excuse your accent, sir. I'm American, all right? We got certain rules about the way you guys talk outside the country. We got rules about how we talk inside the country, much less
The
outside.
the best thing is, by the way, is that everyone that's posted on here like breaks these rules, and like no mod ever seems to stop. So the no adult content is, while not safe for work content like blood etc is allowed, adult content is not. Like so, like maybe if you had said no nudity, no sexual content, I think is what they're trying to say. No pornographic content, maybe, you know. But I'm an adult, so everything I do is adult content. So I'm not allowed on this Reddit. Okay, no cross posting. We're gonna love this one.
Yeah,
Be creative
you're gonna get banned
and
by
make
the
an
time this
appealing post.
conversation's over.
Not cross post something from a different subreddit. So again, hey, I've got something to share. I'm making a game. I want to put it all everywhere because I want everyone to see it, and I want everyone to love my game because I love my game and I love making my game. I'm passionate about the game I made, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that because the mod here doesn't let me do that. Okay. Finally, a good one. Be civil and respectful. Treat others like you would treat yourself. Now, again,
Ooh,
I have problems
I think
with
that's a horrible rule because I'm
it. It is
pretty
a
fucking
horrible.
tough on myself.
Oh yeah, exactly. I sent myself to the corner.
Like when other people try to insult me, I'm like, this fucking amateur.
Yeah, literally. Has that happened to you? Has someone tried to insult you, you just laugh? You're like, really? That's the best you got? Like,
I don't think you understand where I came from, tough guy. We tried to make each other cry, and these were our best
yeah,
friends. If you weren't violent at the end of an insult, then it wasn't an insult, okay?
yeah. So, quick segue, quick, and I'll make it quick. Um, my girlfriend at the time came with me to South Africa, and we went to go meet a friend of mine in a different city. So we arrived in Johannesburg, and then we had to take a flight to Cape Town to meet this friend of mine, and he had the most ridiculous looking haircut I'd seen. I haven't seen this guy in 4 years, right? He has never met my, girlfriend, friend, or her child, right? So well, and I just burst out laughing. I was like, "Motherfucker, what did you do to your hair? Who cut your hair? I could get a refund." Laughing at the guy, and she's like, "How can you be so rude? When was the last time you saw your friend? This is how you greet him?" And I'm like, "What? If I didn't him any different, you would have been upset, or you'd been weirded out. Like, okay, man, stop being so awkward."
Yeah,
So,
we only deal in truths here. Besides, he knows how awkward his haircut was. He fucking
yeah,
got it.
like she, we had a kid together, and we're not together anymore. So she keeps telling me like, "We need to make sure that that my kids that doesn't that our child does not call you fat." But I am fat. It's like, yes, but that's not nice. And it's like, well, I mean, if you called me skinny, I would say that's not nice because it's not factual in any form or shape. It's actually an insult. It's like, yes, but then he's going to call other people fat when they're fat. It's like, are they fat? Yeah,
There you go.
I'm not seeing the problem here. But okay, cool. Anyway, segue aside, back to the rules
Segue.
of the indie subreddit. We got to 7. There's only 13 of them, so sorry that I'm hijacking your show to this point. But
It's first off, it's our show. We just started. We haven't even set up a really good thing. We've had several ideas, but we haven't really put together anything yet. So there's no hijacking. Go ahead and share.
yeah,
What do you have to say, Urik?
I want to carry on with the be civil and respectful. Treat others with respect. That would have been a good way to put that. And civility. Actually, you don't have to say anything because you already said it. So, okay, redundant. Don't put your age in the post title. It is not appropriate. Just post about your game. I mean, like, what are we in the middle of the fucking Gestapo? Like, okay, no promotions of YouTube or Twitch channels, podcasts, or other socials. The subreddit is to help discover indie games and connect indie developers with audiences by giving them a chance to showcase their game. Please don't use it to promote your YouTube channels, Twitch streams, or similar opportunities. Hey guys, here's my game. If you want to see more of it, I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, no, sorry, you're banned. But I was just trying to promote my game. Yeah, but you used YouTube, so sorry, you're banned.
So what are you allowed to put if I'm an indie developer and I want to get my game in front of people and get some feedback and awareness? What is it I am allowed to put?
I don't know. I mean, there's another one that's called Indie Game Dev, so maybe you have to go to the Indie Game Dev subreddit and not to the Indie Games subreddit. Because funny enough, the next one is no promotion posts under guise of feedback. Oh, this one's a long one. Ooh, okay, so someone's really passionate about this one. Okay, no questions allowed to be asked in post titles of promotion posts. No more. Would you play this? Or should we add multiplayer? Just promote your game with a catchy title and some info about the game. Okay, Azeroth. Post any links.
Promote your game and get the fuck out.
Yeah. Posting any links to store pages, social media, websites, or asking for feedback on any promotion materials such as Steam, capsule images, store pages, trailers, or websites is, and then in big capital letters, not allowed. Holy fuck.
I think what is that subreddit for?
It's called r/indie games.
But who is it for? And
I don't know.
How does it work?
Like, and that's why I've noticed people like, hey, here's the game, go and wishlist it, if you like it. And then I'm like, but where's the link? And then I'll see someone in the comments going, here's the link to the game. I'm like, what is happening here? Oh, it gets better. No A/B capsule art testing or promotion of unfinished art assets. r/indie games is not a game development subreddit. We aren't here to help you make your game or give you feedback on unfinished aspects of your game that you, as a developer, should be able to figure out. Show off finished artwork, only to do not post capsule images or models art posts from inside of editor tools. I want to have a conversation with this guy. Like, I really want to have like an actual conversation with the personal people behind putting these rules together, because it seems most people just ignore them to start. But really, like, just
so all right. Is that all the rules? Because that was a lot.
No. There's two more. No promotions under the guise of before/after posts.
Why don't they just say no promotions? They've said no promotions like 30 different ways.
And then here's my favorite one. No generative AI posts. Be they used for text only or visual assets. We respect the craft, and Gen AI is feeding on other people's work entirely. No, it's not, because that's not how generative AI works. For a start, right? Okay, it's generative. Okay, it's not a copying AI, first of all. And second of all, respect the craft. Dude, you just gave me 10 rules about how you're basically like going to slap my hand if I respect the craft in any way by trying to promote it. I'm only supposed to like, oh, here's my game. I can't tell you anything about it. I can't tell you where it is or where to find it. But here's my game.
Good luck.
Yeah. So that's all the rules. How do you feel about the rules, Mazarov? Just 13 simple rules.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's much to talk about there because it's against the rules. What can I say? I'll get banned. So, yeah. But is it working? Yeah. What are the top 5 post titles, and how much engagement are they getting?
I mean, very little. Well, no, some of them are getting like 95 comments. I guess that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Well, how old is the thread?
16 hours ago.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's a really cool game. It's one of the games I want to talk to you about. But by the way, also I started commenting, like on posts, and I got an auto mod response from this channel saying, "Oh, you're new here, so we'll have to manually check that you're following the rules, and it'll be 30 hours before your comment is visible." I'm like, 30 hours in internet time is death. So thanks. I'm so happy I posted that comment.
I love how new you are to Reddit.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to be doing very little posting. and probably using it more for like just DMing people that I think have something pretty cool and that I might be able to help them promote. Like, for example, the first game I came across, which was absolutely fantastic, and maybe just because of the way I grew up, but it is called Flip Flop Fury.
It's said
Now,
about chanclas and the fury of Abuela.
yeah, that's pretty much it,
Yeah.
right? You play as a woman with a flip flop in her hand, and then you got to throw it, and then you basically can guide the flip flop like the remote batarang to like get points and then hit a target. And I was like, this is awesome. Very very funny looking. No demo out on this one. Um,
Is it because
but
the art wasn't allowed?
yeah, no, again because I was like, now I need to go and like flip flop fury and because I've noticed like there is no link to their Steam. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. How can they be like? I don't.
Now, does it say you can't link to your game?
Yeah, well, no promotions.
Oh, what if I have a website that isn't a promotion? I'm just like, hey, I really love all this lore I did.
It's funny because their first rule, I just read something. So remember, I said no promotions, right? Of YouTube, Twitch, podcast, or other socials, including Steam and blah blah blah, right? And no promotions posted under the guise of feedback, and no promotions for A/B testing, right? And no promotions under the guise of before after posts, right? Which I think is pretty cool. But the first rule is game promotion must include image, GIF, or video. So you've acknowledged what people are doing is promotion, but then no promotion is allowed. Gotcha. So glad. So glad.
I'm glad you're enjoying this trip in the Reddit land and joining the rest of us. Reddit has been itself for a while. There are some really good sub communities in there.
I mean, this seems like a good sub community because, like I said, I found 3 games that I was like, wow, I will be playing these games. First is this one, just because of the fun aspect. I looked at them and I was like, my kid will love this game. And then it's just the nostalgia of being thrown with the shoe. I mean, it's just like the good old days.
Hey, what is it called?
Flip dash flop. So you got to have the hyphen. Flip hyphen flop. So again, they need to learn about store optimization because you don't want to be able to have to type in flip dash flop to find someone's game. But yeah, flip
flop flurry.
That's it. Flip flop fury.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks
it's coming
good.
soon. It's available for wishes.
Yeah. It just I don't know how long it'll be entertaining for. That obviously depends on how many different stages and like if they can to me this looks like the kind of game that should be one of those games that's easy to start but hard to master kind of thing, like being able to get all the bonus points and all that kind of stuff. Like I know some people are going to be going like, well, that's not a comparison at all, but like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, right? Tony Hawk Pro Skater is a game that pretty much anyone can pick up, do a few tricks here and there, and then you see someone else playing it and you're like, what? How the hell did you do that? So yeah, I think it's gonna it could be one of those games, maybe again because this is an indie, it's not going to be like that at all.
But it's a fun title. Not every so for my bit for indie games, let me just level set benchmark here. I don't think an indie game has to be a huge monetary success or millions of players. If it's a fun game and a developer puts some either some soul into it or a little bit of themselves into it, I think that's fine. I think it's fantastic.
I agree and disagree with what you're saying. I agree with that. It needs to be fun.
I am aghast to hear such things from you. Never in my
but,
life.
But I think it does have to do with the money. This whole thing of like, it's not about the money. It is 100% about the money. You're making a game because you don't like the shitty job you're in, because someone lied to you when you were a kid and told you that you can have anything you want, and you grew up and realized you couldn't. And so you kind of want to escape the mundane by, putting some creativity to your, on your craft. And
You said some really crazy things right there. What do you mean I can't have
you
whatever
should,
I want?
yeah, I know, right? Telling an American he can't have what he wants. Imagine,
What the hell are you talking
imagine that.
about?
But
That doesn't
what you
even
talking
make
about, Willis?
sense.
But yeah, I think that's why I always had when Indies are like, "Oh, I just do this for the passion." Shut the fuck up, man. We're all doing this to get paid, to get a paycheck. If you're doing something
Ah,
that you love while you're doing it, that's great. That's
boo,
great. Fantastic.
boo, hiss,
Yeah,
boo.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was that kid once, 20 years old, and going, oh, when I was getting a job, it's not about the money, it's about doing something that I love doing, and and growing in the company. Bullshit. It's always about the money.
I, I think we had opposites. I'm more now more into okay, it's about the dream, the endeavor.
Yeah,
When I was a young man, I was like, it's all about the dollars, kid. Boom, pay me more,
that was
give me more.
I was definitely a hippie when I was younger. Definitely. I was so far left that like the left had to turn left to see me. Now I'm not going to say what I am because this isn't a political show.
That is
Um,
great. Yes, I appreciate that.
so yeah, so Flip Flop Fury. If anyone is listening, it's by a developer called Shapeshifter. This is their first game. They are part of the India Game Showcase for 2026. Um, so that's also another reason to support the game. It's good to support games from developing places. It is a lot more
Why?
expensive for
Why?
them
Why is it good to support games from developing places? Why would you specifically
because it's a
call
lot
that?
harder. It's a lot harder and a lot more
What do you mean
expensive.
it's a lot harder? You know how much more free
course
time developing places have?
None actually, because we don't have governments that support us for being lazy and unemployed. Like we are at the moment.
You're talking
Listen, man,
about?
in
Are you
South
talking
Africa,
about Europe or South? Yeah, I was about to say.
I was gonna say, well, I'm guessing the States is the same thing. It's like you don't have a job, well, then get a fucking job and do it quickly, or else you're gonna die.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have a job? What do you mean you're gonna go sign up for unemployment? Do you know I was unemployed for ages before? Like people like, dude, just go sign up for unemployment. I was like, I don't need to sign up for unemployment. Just go sign up for unemployment. It's like free money. It's like, yeah, but it's just weird. It's dirty. I don't want to do that. I'm not a mooch.
That's how I felt for a long time.
Yeah, and then someone just goes like, hey, shut the fuck up. It's free money. You're
It's
like,
not free money.
okay.
It gets paid from people that are working in the system. The system doesn't have anything free. It takes from
Yeah,
it
yeah, kid.
takes.
There's nothing in life is free. I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
That's not true. There's lots of things in life that are free until the government finds out it's free or an entrepreneur finds out it's free. And then suddenly it has a
Believe,
price tag.
yeah, I can't believe someone hasn't learned how to, like make us pay for air yet. We'll get there.
They're doing water first. They've
Yeah.
already figured out soil, earth, and then next will be
Yep.
water, and then air.
Then fire. Oh yeah, sorry. They've done fire too. And when you combine them all together, Captain Planet's going to come back and kick all our asses. Because that's the movie I want to see. If they have to properly reboot an IP and mess it up, right? What they should do is what's his name? He was Rhodey in
Are you talking about the Funny or Die?
Don Cheadle.
Yes,
Don Cheadle. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. That is the Captain Planet we need. It's not the one we deserve. That's
I'm
the
on
one.
8th place. Holy shit! I cannot talk to you and play. Well, I had a really crappy build too. Oh, I'm almost embarrassed. This stream's getting deleted. You can say whatever the hell you want now.
Why is it getting
You're not even listening to me. What kind of talk show is this where you're not even listening to what I
because
just
you
said?
you suck. Because you're sucking so bad. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you're doing in the background. Nobody's even watching us. We're on a third or fourth monitor if we're even on a monitor.
You are so very negative. People turn
Dude,
in to
one
hear
person
my
is
sultry voice repeatedly.
one person is watching, and that person
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's technically two people because I'm watching and, Savannah Rose is watching.
Uh,
So,
well, I hate to tell you this, Urik, but you don't count. Wow, listen to that silence, folks. I just broke his heart.
I was busy typing. Sorry, I can't type and talk. Yeah,
It,
I'm definitely not a
do you find
multitasker.
if you try to type and talk, you end up talking what you're typing? Or you type what you are talking?
Vice versa, yeah, and I'm like, God damn it, and then I have to
Yeah,
restart, so I just stop.
it
It's
happens to me too.
I think it's just a male thing. Oh, okay. So while we're talking about a male thing, I watched every once in a while. I do watch YouTube Shorts. Um, try and force the algorithm to only serve me things that I actually like, which it's about 60% there. Um, but one of the things was a study they did. So this woman's talking about a study they did about people being in a room doing nothing and having access to nothing except their own thoughts for 15 minutes. So they did 10 different studies. The
Hmm.
first 9 studies was just, sitting in an empty white room, sitting on a chair with access to nothing and without talking. You couldn't talk to yourself out loud anyway, and couldn't move for 15 minutes. So keeping absolutely still 15 minutes. And most people were like, they would rather do something they didn't like than do that. Okay.
That's
Or the
crazy.
15 minutes. That was it. 15 minutes. Um, or
I
the
do that all the time. They called it daydreaming when I was a kid.
Yeah, like just staring to nothingness. That's great. It means you have like no worries. I mean, if you can do that, I guess the age, maybe they didn't say what age groups they did that. Because if you were like getting a bunch of 8-year-olds, well, maybe not 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and they were daydreamers, they would sit there for like hours doing nothing and be okay with it. You know. Then, so for the 10th group, what they did is they asked people, would you rather be shocked? So they asked the question first: would you rather be shocked, or sit in a room 15 minutes silent? And everybody picked those to sit in a room 15 minutes silent. So they put them in the same room, right? But this time they put a big red button, and they told them at any point during the next 15 minutes when you staying quiet, you can choose to end the experiment by pushing this button, but you will get electrocuted. You will get a mild shock, right? So
Okay.
the statistics on this, so you'll see where I'm getting to with the male thing, why that triggered me saying this, but 25% of women that did the experiment
Yeah.
pushed the button, right?
Hmm.
So quarter, okay? Now this may not sound like a lot, but 67% of men push the button rather than sit in 15 minutes of silence. And I think it's because most of us are from like a society where males are very self-deprecating. That if we sit there alone as an adult male for 15 minutes, 5 minutes in, we're like, we're the worst people alive. I should have never been born. Fucking, I'm pushing the button. Oh man.
My dad wouldn't be able to sit here longer than I am. He'd be able to do it. Why do I always let the family down? Ah! Press, 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 press.
Oh man. So yeah. Sorry about that segue. But it's quite interesting study.
It's a beautiful segue.
Back to indie games. I think that should be the topic of discussion for these, conversations. Should revolve either around the Epic store games, which I guess we can get back to at some point today, but also around.
So you want some kind of order, some kind of structure, some kind of purpose, not just two blokes sitting around
Oh, I
blokes.
do. I don't
Christ,
mind.
how long have I been in fucking Europe? I'm saying blokes.
No,
Jesus.
no, it's just like when I've said the first time I said, what do they call money here?
Quid or some shit?
Yeah, quid. The first time I said it's only 5 quid, I was like, ugh. I was so disgusted with myself. Which isn't as bad as me trying to explain to an American that bucks does not mean dollars. Bucks just means money. And this is true. I shit you not. He was the head of event coordination for said company we worked for, and it was while we were at one of these events, and he was a lovely guy, and I'm talking to him, and I said to him, "Yeah, that was like $20," and he said to me, "You mean euros?" And the first time I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then the second time I said bucks, he went, "You mean euros?" I'm like, "Dude, what are you actually talking about right now? Like, what is what is your damage?" And he goes, "Well, you keep saying bucks, but you're referring to euros, right? You're not referring to the price in dollars." I'm like, "Bucks does not bucks is money. I've always called money bucks. It's $20." It's like, yeah, but it's American dollars. It's like it's nothing. It's a buck. It's like it's a wild animal, is what it is.
What makes you think that it's just a generic term for money?
Because where I grew up, that's what we called it, and I didn't grow up in America.
No, but yeah, American culture is all over the place.
Yeah, you don't get to own everything. I mean, you try.
Whoa,
You do try.
whoa, 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 whoa! I'm gonna need you to calm down there with that ridiculous statement you just made.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. What are you gonna do? You're gonna rip your mic off, stand up, and leave?
No, no. Yeah, I'm just calling some
I'm
favors
sorry.
to have your internet shut off.
Listen, man. No, you're in Europe now. You're not in the States, where if you're outside of a major city, internet isn't a thing.
I'm
Unless
sorry.
you're part of the
I will
Comcast.
call the local council and tell them that you're, defiled some kind of planning thing, and then they'll spend the
Oh yeah.
next 2 years
Try and build,
dragging you through court.
motherfucker. Try and build anything on your house without permission in this country. You'll see. They will come and tear it down.
That blows my mind.
Listen, you guys have HOA, so and I'm like, I can't believe that's real. Every time I see a YouTube short about an HOA thing, I'm like, this is staged. This isn't real.
Now,
These aren't real people. These aren't.
can you imagine buying? Okay, first
No, I
off,
couldn't.
I have
I genuinely,
no.
genuinely couldn't.
You're like, nope, buying. What the hell is this?
But I know what you're saying. Buying a house in an HOA scheme?
Oh yeah.
No,
Ooh, do I want
couldn't.
that one? I kind of like that one.
I mean, could you imagine someone coming to your house and telling you that your flowers are the wrong color? And it's not aesthetically pleasing to the neighborhood, or you can't park on your driveway. You have to park like in your garage,
I can
or you
because
can't use.
I know there's people like that. However, I can also imagine me saying, I don't give a shit. Fuck off.
I mean, like someone telling me that sorry, you can't use that kind of lawnmower to cut your grass. And, I'd just be like, I don't even think I'd give them a response at first because I'd be so shocked. I'd be like, this isn't real. This isn't happening.
Yeah.
I think I'd go get my phone and then get them to repeat it so I could record it and send it to people and be like, look, this shit actually happened. It's like Karens. I didn't know Karens were real. I'd never encountered a Karen. I mean, I've been on the phone with a few, but like, people on the phone always act tougher than what they are. That's normal. But like real life, people just being confrontational to that level in real life where they throw themselves in front of cars and will say that they are getting beaten. I've never experienced that. Thankfully. So
So
yeah, that's the end of that discussion. Shall we move on to the second game? Because I did like this is what I was saying. So
that was all the first game. Holy shit!
Yeah. So the indie game subreddit. After I read those rules and realized I couldn't respond to posts and stuff like that, really annoyed me. And then I actually just went and scrolled through it, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like a fun game. Let me check that out." I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting." And
So
and
you
yeah,
can't
I mean,
respond and say, "Wow, that looks like a great fun game."
not yet. I have to wait 30 hours.
Oh,
and
you
then
have to
I will
wait
be,
30 hours because you're a noob. Yeah,
'cause I'm new.
you are in time.
So the next game is the one I sent you, but I can't remember the name. I think it's We're Cooked or something.
Yeah. You sent it, and then you're like, "I'm ready." I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yes, I'm ready. Take me now. Oh, sorry, this isn't the Rapture.
Okay, do I need to make my own set of rules?
I mean, you can make them. You know.
Okay. And I do, as you so aptly pointed out.
So,
I am
since you
American.
posted the first game, I posted. Oh, mine didn't go as a link. Did I do something wrong?
What did you do?
Try to post a link to the second game. We
Oh.
talk about. It didn't work. So maybe you do it. Because I
Where
suck.
Where did you try posting it to?
On your chat. It didn't hyperlink it.
No, I don't see anything.
See anything on your YouTube chat?
No. No, the last thing I have is me calling you on timeout.
What are you talking about? I've got on chat. I've got you saying I do count. Sorry, me saying I do count, and then you posting the Steam store, and then oh yeah, is in Reddit timeout. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
And
I
then
don't see anything else. All right, wait, what is the game? Is that cooking game? I'll go ahead and link it.
it's called We Are So Hooked, and the premise of this
Oh yeah, tell me about the premise of this
is
game.
it is a 4-player co-op game where you're in a room with someone that is dead. Now you have to try and get rid of the body. And it just to me sounds like an old, you know, comedy from like, you know, the early 2000s kind of thing where something ridiculous happens that wouldn't normally happen to someone and they have to try and figure a way out of it. So, you know, basically just puts you in a whole bunch of different scenarios and you have to figure out how to get the body out of the building. But it's done in a very comical way. Actually, very similar art style, even though these studios must work together because, funny enough, the studio is also an Indian studio. But it is a different studio to the Flip Flop Fury, but it does have the same aesthetic.
Maybe you just like
So
this art style.
maybe I do. I thought it was funny, you know, like not much I can say about it because again I haven't really played it. It does not have a demo yet. It's also planned release of 2026.
I love the passion
And
you have for finding these games, and listen to your voice. You're just so excited about this project, and you want to give
because
it a try.
I
That's awesome.
genuinely love good indie games, and I genuinely believe that it is the only reason why this industry continues to exist. There's nothing to do with AAA, because if it was up to AAA, this industry would be not dead because it's too big to die, but it would not be as popular as what it is. People come because they see something at a AAA level, and then they stay, you know, for the indie.
Give me an example of
If
that.
you think of that.
What do you mean?
Well, because you know, like it's like music. It's like, you know, when you first get into music, you know, okay, right, most people like pop music, and everyone gets into music because of the pop music, and then you'll hear like an artist who's like, oh, that's different, or someone will introduce you to something. You go, wow, I actually enjoy this. And I didn't know I would like this kind of music, and then you listen to more of that, and you know, you first started listening to music was, you know, the mainstream, what was on the radio. And you know, regardless of who you are, when you get to a certain age, you've been listening to music long enough that you will maybe still listen to the music on the radio, and maybe that is your favorite style of music. But you'll also like I don't know, some weird country folk rock or something. You know,
I love that I asked for an example, and you switched industries.
yeah, okay, I'm getting to that. So I think gaming is the same. You know, our generation, for example, we started out on Super Mario. You know, everybody was playing Super Mario, like it was everywhere, or Sonic, or whatever. You know, those are all what I
Your
would consider.
generation, young man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot you from like what the fucking Pong generation. You know, blip bloop,
Pong.
blip bloop.
Pong was advanced.
Oh man, you still like those text adventures where it's like go north.
Oh, I
Go
absolutely
west.
do. I'm working on, you know, my own take on that
I see. I
since
never
I've
liked
had a
reading,
little bit
so
of time. Yeah, I know. What is wrong? Like, folks, just that's crazy to
I
me.
never look. I mean, I say that. I think we might have touched on this before. I don't know if it was on a recorded session or not, but you know, I always thought that I was not a big reader when I was younger. But then I remembered that, you know, the kind of games I used to play were like Baldur's Gate, where there's probably more reading than, you know, a few books.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when you start reading the books in the game and you start reading everything in the lore and all that. Same with Dragon Age. I played Dragon Age Origins and read every single book. Well, I do that in any game. Any game I come across that has written literature in the game, I will sit and read it. From Skyrim, and when I say read it, I will read every single one of those books, and then I'll keep them. I'll make a library out of them.
Do you remember
Okay.
the first in-game book that you came across that you were like, what?
That would have been in Baldur's Gate, and it would have been the the History of Candlekeep, which is a book that's given to you by what's his name? Is it Firebeard or something? You have to go get that book for him, I think, or something. I can't remember, but yeah. Well, he gives you the book. I can't remember if he gives you the book or you go get the book for him. Something Firebeard, the mage elf, in the inn,
Hmm.
Candlekeep. And I'm like, oh, and I read that, And then there was the book that you have to also get from the hay by the cow, and I read that one, and I was like, oh, and I just read all the books, and that's how I found out about, you know, the Forgotten Realms. Never read a Forgotten Realms book.
But you know so much of the lore and history because of the
Yeah,
games and
through
reading the in-game
Baldur's Gate
lore.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
because
I'm going to share something with you, my friend.
share away. I mean, you might be judged, but share.
There is a wonderful indie title, which is kind of about that. I'm going to go ahead and just set the link here so you can follow it at your leisure. But it is called Librarian. Tidy Up the Arcane Library. I think the sound was just going off. And basically, it's about uh, you are in a library, and your job is to put all the books where they belong on the shelves. All of them. There's like 3,000. Like,
Wow, I'm looking at pictures of this now.
yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know because it's like one of those things that I like doing it on the side of in like role playing games, but I don't know if I'd like a whole game about it. Even though it's what I do, this is like a majority. I did the same thing in Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm doing the same thing in Witcher now, and I'm like, oh dang, I forgot to read that note. I need to go back and make sure I read it, and I do. I go back.
I don't know what the rules are on oh, Savannah Rose. It's fantastic. It's we were actually out with some friends at dinner the other night. Savannah, I don't know if you remember. They told us about it. Um,
Art Rising.
what's that? Arc
So,
Rising.
so no, Art Rising is the name of the studio. Wow, 10,000 reviews.
Yeah, it's super popular and apparently a lot of fun.
I mean, I'd love to have a conversation with like someone like this and get people like this Art Rising, and because they self-published, and that's every indie's dream is to just self-publish so they don't have to, give up their
Their
money.
rights to
You
give
know, their
up
right and
to
their money.
sell their soul to try and make a buck.
I mean, it doesn't. Hopefully, it doesn't happen as much these days. That was very prominent about 10 years ago. I think most indies are probably a bit savvier now. I hope they are. But yeah, I know cases of people who did that. The guys that made a game called Candle Knight. Was it Candle Knight?
Are you asking me or are you
Yeah,
asking yourself? It's
I'm asking myself. So, these guys, it says it's self-published, but it wasn't self-published. But got very low reviews, and also that they gave their rights to the game to a publisher, and they ended up still owing them money because the game didn't sell. So I was like, well, that's a bad deal. Dead or alive, stupid fairy. Sorry, this librarian actually does look good, and I am actually wishlisting it.
it does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, again, very simple premise. That's what you're right is that though. Like it does not need to be complex. I think a lot of indie devs think that their game needs to be like Crimson Desert. It's to be able to do
Yeah,
everything.
it doesn't. And Crimson
Right?
Desert is fantastic, but if with well, I think you need to decide a goal. Do you want to just make a few bucks? Are you looking to make a financial success? Are you looking to say, I have a great idea and I want to build this idea and deliver it and put it in the hands of people? You have to decide your focus. What is your goal? And don't stray from that. It doesn't mean that you're going to have to compromise here or there. Maybe you don't have the art assets you need or the system or whatever. But you stick to your goal. You stick to your guns. And whatever you choose, that is your success criteria for you. It shouldn't be measured by somebody else or units of sales or art style or anything like that. That's what I think for me. It represents the indie spirit.
I agree. And also doing everything on like the smallest budget imaginable, and then people going, "Wow, I can't believe you did all this." And it's like, yeah, I haven't eaten for 2 months, but I released a game. You know? But for real, I don't think people understand like how much things cost, when they first start out making a game. And it's not the actual game development, right? Because that's the real cost of developing a game is your time, right?
Hmm.
That's the major cost on the development side. It's all the stuff that comes along with it, right? It's the marketing, the business development, the operational side of things, and that's the reality. You can't just we don't live in an age where you're the only one making a game. We're living in an age where there's 1,000 games being made every second, you know, and you need to respect that. And if you are going to release something that, you don't have the right expectation, like you said, where, you're expecting that you're going to make a lot of money out of this, but then you put, an okay level of effort, you're going to get okay level of success. Right? And unfortunately, you can have the best game in the world. If you haven't marketed it properly, it's not going to get anywhere. And people are like, oh, it's a game. Well, who did I hear saying that? Someone like from a AAA studio was quoted saying, and I hate to say it, but I think it was someone that worked at Larian. And I'm like, really? You're at this level of big, you've gotten to this level, Larian, that you're now hiring idiots. Um, which it's inevitable, right? With success, with the rise of success, you're going to hire people that aren't going to be always in your cultural mindset. But they say that, yeah, if your game is good, that's all it needs to be. Your game just needs to be good, and people will find it and will play and it'll be successful. Like, what fucking weed were you smoking, man? Because pass it here, because that's great hippie mentality. You know,
So you disagree with that, is
very wrong.
what I'm
I,
hearing.
I absolutely. What do you think?
I
You think
think
having a great product is enough?
yes, it is not enough maybe to be financially successful, but if you put a good game out there, people are going to find it and they will talk about it eventually.
Huh,
Think about all the hidden
I mean,
gems that you hear about, and you're like, wow, this game's 10 years old? I've never heard of it. But you
yeah,
play it
but
and you're like,
exactly. Like, and that's what you want to be. You want to be the hidden gem. You want to be the Picasso that died like poor and starving, and then all the money was made afterwards.
it depends on your purpose. Are you making a game to be famous? It's like any other art form. Are you painting because you want to be famous and rich? Or are you painting
There's a
because you
difference
have
between
something to
famous.
paint?
Look, we're not talking about being rich here. Like, if I make a game, right? I don't want it to. I'm not. I don't have any delusions of grandeur that I'm going to become a millionaire overnight, right? But you want to be able to, again, be able to support yourself through your craft. I mean, that's what our ancestors did, right? You were a really good blacksmith. More people came, and you were they bought your shit and you made money. You weren't like the richest person in the town, but you had enough to go and have a couple of drinks at the end of the day. Maybe buy some food. You know, that's good enough, right? So I think that if you put 2 years into a game and you're just expecting that it'll be found, then I hope you like your day job. That you don't mind carrying on doing your day job.
Yes, because that's your goal. Again, there's a
Yeah,
difference between
fair enough.
wanting financial success or product success, or I have an idea for a system. I have an idea for a cool world,
I
or
think
whatever
I
it
think
is.
money should always be a factor there. And again, it's just so that because again, if you are good at something, never do it for free. Famous words by the Joker, probably someone else before him, but that's what I remember from. And I 100% agree with that. If you are good at something, now if you've made a crappy game, then own it. Own that you made a crappy game. Don't think your game is the best game in the world, and then you look at it, and you're like, it's a piece of shit. You know.
So
If you've
I
made
think
something that
we're going around in circles. So you think in order for if you're going to do something, you should do it so um, you can
you should have,
be financially
you can financially
successful?
I wouldn't say sustainable. Just again, we're not talking about being millionaires, but yeah, that
You can
you're
do
able
that
to
with a
sustain
hidden
yourself.
gem. I mean, you only have to sell what 10,000 units a year of multiple titles. You can crank out indie games every month. Lots of people do that, and for some reason they all live
Telling
in
you this.
Portugal. I don't know what that's about.
What I'm saying is that if you want to pursue your craft, you should be able to do so without having to work and do it as a
Well,
second job or as a hobby.
you're assuming everybody is a craftsman and not a hobbyist, not somebody with an idea.
Okay, that's fair. Someone who just wants to do something like modders, I guess. I always find that like very interesting conundrum because typically there is obviously exceptions, but most modders don't get paid, and most modders spend a lot of time putting something together that
Or
either
fixing.
overhauls the game or fixing stuff. And yeah, like thanks Bethesda, you know, you already pulled a good trick on gamers by letting the community fix your games for you. But um, yeah, I guess they're okay with that. I never understood that. Maybe I'm too greedy. Maybe that's my problem.
I think you have this strange optimism, my jaded friend, and I don't know how you balance those two. You're like Two Face,
Oh
cynical
yeah, hundred
yet
percent.
optimistic at the same
Yeah,
time.
100%. That's me.
Do you flip a
I am
coin
a
or
no. I'm
or
just. I should come like I always tell people. I should come with a warning label that says not fit for human consumption because I'm all over the place. I actually have two more games, by the way, that I wanted to share with you. Not
All right.
one.
Well,
Just
we
realized
got
that I
like
had
five
two.
minutes to wrap this up, so let's hit the
Okay.
third one first.
So I want to save the best for last. So we'll do the next one is a game called Tiny Delivery. I'm going to send you the.
Tiny delivery. What does that sound familiar?
Am I a fan of cozy games? I mean, cozy games used to just be called stoner games, which was like I'm too stoned, but I want to play a game, so I
Ah,
can't do anything that's
yeah,
hectic.
I've seen this one. I don't know if we talked about it before, but
I like it. I like the art style. I like that. What's that? It's got a name. Where like you film things from like a certain angle with a certain level of camera
isometric.
exposure. No, not isometric, but you where you make things look real, look fake, but it's actually real. Sounds.
Are you talking about politics? Oh, I'm getting crushed this game. I don't think this is a good game for me to play while we talk. We should do something co-opy,
We should. We should. We'll do it next time.
so
Tilt shift
we can yell at
photography.
each other.
By the way, I mean, send you an example of shift photography. But this is what I feel could have been inspiration for this game. That tilt shift photography style.
Why does this game remind you of that?
It's just the like how the edges feel like they're a little bit blurry. Um, and I don't know. I just that's kind of the vibe I get off it. That's it's meant to look realistic, but not. Could just be me because it also does look like that goose game or duck game, whatever it's called, a little bit. But yeah, this is another one that is from an indie developer called Cynica,
Hmm.
Cynica. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it.
Let's go with
Also
Seneca.
planned for
That
release.
sounds better. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, Cynica. And yeah, it's
Say it one more time. Seneca.
Cynica. Cynica. Sounds like a brain from the 80s.
Yeah.
Frametel.
Bomb.
Remember Frametel?
Seneca. Frametail?
Yeah, they were a
Uh,
production company, and like at the end of their shows, it would have like a. I think they did like soap operas and like Frametel. It's like a satellite.
no, that might be an African thing.
I remember weird shit. No, no, no. It was American. It was American.
Frametail? Okay.
Yeah, Frametel was American. Spelled Fefre.
All right. I am going to
Yeah, there.
wrap up the stream, but
Oh,
uh,
wait. One more game. One more game.
okay. One more game. One more game. What
One
is
more
it?
game. This game is super cool. I'm in love with the art style. If you like your Souls-like games, you'll like this one. It is called Crimson Cape. Just trying to find a link for it to send to you so you can post it.
Crimson Cape or Cake?
Capes, the Crimson Capes, where you're basically like a Witcher style character.
Okay.
Um, but it's this 8-bit fluid. I don't know how to describe this art style because it's like a fluid 8-bit.
Okay. Here it is. I
There is
found
a
it.
demo out for this one. It is
Yep.
also released, and this is where I mean, so released by Poor Bloke, Lock, right, who has done several games, by the way. This is his one, at least on Steam, his fourth game, right?
Right.
Uh, 3 of his games are free. So I will be looking those up. Unbeliever, windmills,
I'm gonna
and
start
the other
sharing
one
my
was
screen so I can. I don't know what the rules are on sharing like videos and whatnot. But I will have
no,
to look that up so we can share next time.
yeah, that would be good to know. But Crimson Capes has just got like very simple combat, but like with their complication with the parrying and the dodging and that kind of stuff. But it only has 140 reviews, which, again, maybe because I'm looking at big picture things always, like that to me is a failure. But maybe for him, that was good enough. He releases a game every like 2 years, 3 years with this one.
Well,
And
140 reviews. The reviews is what? Is it
so even if
10?
you use your 10% rule,
Yeah,
so 1,400 copies sold. So what, you want to do some quick math? So let's say we'll work it in pounds because that's where I am. So 12.79 is its standard rate. We won't use the discount rate. We multiply that by, let's say, 1,400 copies. Okay, that is less than 20,000 Great British pounds, so about 20,000 euros,
yeah.
okay, or dollars. Okay. Um. Oh wait, sorry. Minus. So divide. So
At
minus
70%.
30%.
Yep.
So it's only 13,000 pounds, so about $15,000 that he made off this game. That took him 3 years of his life. You think that's fair?
Wow. Well, you want to ask? You want to talk about fair? What do you mean by fair?
Okay, right. Yeah. Okay. There's no such thing as fair. Yes, we know.
Yeah.
Our life.
Well, not even that, but
But
you're trying to. What are you trying to say? Because it sounds like you're trying to
I'm
say
saying
because
it,
someone
it
spends
is a
three
good game.
years on a decent
Yeah,
game
yeah.
that they're entitled
Mhm.
to a certain financial
No,
compensation.
what I'm saying is that if he had maybe right spent some time doing like some dev diaries, putting together, but again, it's hard to do when you're a solo dev because you probably have a day job and you're developing, and then you have to do all the stuff, and then that's where you're obviously working with like a publisher or marketing agency. But again, those aren't free. So either you go with a publisher and then you have to give up some of your revenue, right? But
Okay, so how do you know he didn't do that?
because he published it himself,
You can
developed by
still
Prologue,
market. You don't
and
Any
need a
woman
published
can
it.
get
publisher to
thrashed.
do any of that stuff.
I guarantee you he did not do a lot of marketing because the game, again, it's a decent looking game, you know, um, and it plays pretty nicely, and it's got a very positive review score from 140 reviews. That's nothing to laugh at. But I just think that
I think you're making some
maybe
pretty bold assumptions
I,
off
I
of
don't
what.
think I'm making assumptions. I think what indies should do is once they've finished making the game, rather than then pushing the launch button, give yourself 6 months and really try to market your game for those 6 months. And I guarantee you, 99% of indies, unless they have previous experience, are not doing that. They finish the game, they polish it up. They might play test it with some people on Discord, um, and then you know they release the game, and the majority of the people don't know about it. You know, maybe do like a little bit here and there, where some people know about it. Obviously, some people have to know about it, and then hope that the carousel and that the game picks, because the game's a good game, it gets picked up. When if they just had to finish the game, and then part of their plan is right. So for the next 6 months, because obviously I can't promote the game and develop the game at the same time. So instead of releasing it today, I will release it in 6 months, and in those 6 months, I'm going to do in my spare time is promote this game every way I can.
I think it's a great plan. I think next time we should pick up and you should talk about. Maybe you can do a little presentation on a marketing plan for indies.
But thanks.
I think you should. I mean, what's the point of speaking as an expert? We both have industry experience.
That's not what
Without showing that.
this show's about. We're not here. I'm not here to teach anybody.
You just went on for 10 fucking minutes telling people what they need to do in order to be a successful indie game and
No,
declaring
I'm
that
giving my
somebody who just
suggestion,
made
my
20,000,
opinion.
yeah, maybe 20,000 estimated dollars on a game that they put out is not successful. So I think you owe it to the people to put together your thoughts and say, hey, here's a game plan, and this is what I do at Boiler Room.
No, but um, exactly, this is my opinion. You know, I'm just voicing my opinion. That's all I'm doing. That's all the show's about. It's me voicing my opinion, because that's all any of these kinds of shows are about. Is
I love the
you
way
know
you keep talking,
my opinion.
referring to this as a show. I'm going to
Well,
get
what
my
is it?
producers on the phone. Make sure you're not making more than I am.
It's a show. By today's standards, it's more of a show than most of the things on TV. So
All right, well, let's close out here. I wish you would have started off with that because that would be a great discussion. But I am
well,
tired. I am
well, we
drained.
can we can carry on. I'm not doing a presentation or anything, but I'm happy and
Do a
if we get an
presentation,
audience.
motherfucker. I don't want to hear this bullshit about you speaking so adamantly about what can be done and should be done for an indie to improve their chances at whatever they view as success. You have the experience, dude. You're talented. You're smart. You've been in the industry. You know what it takes. Help people see that. Give them a little taste of that.
If people want help, then we'll maybe start plugging in where they can find me, and then they can come and ask me for help.
Why
And
are
then
we?
I'll happily help. But
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
doing it on a
Let me
on
put
a
it another way,
on
tough
a basis.
guy. Okay, what you're doing right now is the
Yeah, tough
same
guy.
thing that those indie games, those indie developers are not doing that you are chastising them about. You are doing the exact same thing. Where is your
What do you
marketing?
mean?
You should be talking about Boiler Room every 5 fucking minutes until I get tired of it and say, hey, numbnuts, cut it out.
No, because again, like I'm not going to shamelessly plug, you know,
You absolutely
into
should.
what's supposed to.
An indie
Well, this
dev
is
should
okay.
absolutely
Oh,
shamelessly plug their
it's
game
funny. It's
anyway.
funny. It's
Be like,
funny
hey,
that
do you like Air? I like Air too. You know what's great about Air? It helped me build this game. Check it out.
So you want me to plug my thing, and I don't want to plug my thing. That's that is like like
Right? Exactly.
the
Do you
height
see?
of being a man.
Yeah. Where's my mirror? I need to hold that up to the camera so you can see what's going on over there.
Oh
All right,
man,
Urik, as always, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure chatting with you um, and having you bring your
glad to be
expertise and
here.
thoughts.
Glad to be here. Let's we'll actually play something next week. I think we should get back to Outward. Let me see if I can figure out why it's crashing on me.
Let- I don't want to do betas or early access. Not that we have an audience, but I don't want to focus on um, for our streaming for things that
Let's do BattleTech, man.
are in
Let
progress.
BattleTech. Bring BattleTech.
Oh my goodness, do I
Come on,
have
let's give it a try.
BattleTech?
Just a PvP match. You kick my ass or I kick your ass, but it's turn based. It means we can pause and talk.
Yeah, I
While
do have
playing.
Peggy
it.
12.
God damn it.
What is your aversion? I want this is for another day, but like your aversion to like the BattleTech game. I thought it was a pretty decent game, but what do I know?
You know my aversion. I tell you this, not
What is it? 'Cause
specifically
it's
on this
old?
game. No, I play
Oh,
old games. I'm playing Conan. I love Conan. That's
so
like
so, so
it,
what's the aversion on this game on BattleTech?
somebody I know who is a complete fucking idiot loves this game, and it just ruined it for me. I'm like, holy shit! It's like
Okay, yeah. So you associated. You got a association issue with it.
I do. And I loved
Yeah, we
the
can play something else.
BattleTech universe. I love the idea of especially being a mercenary company. Oh, and building yourself up. How badass was that? Absolutely love the character sheets, by the way, especially for the mechs and building those out.
They
Um,
were. This is a. I mean, my love for MechWarrior came with MechWarrior 3, and has been there since then.
mm.
And yeah, the building out your loadouts, what weapons. Like I finally got a catapult.
I feel
And
like
I'm like,
I should also let you
thank you.
know that you are not the person, by the way.
I didn't think so because we've never spoken about BattleTech. But
All
yeah,
right,
are you
I will
still
give it a
recording?
try. Yeah, I'm about to click off
Yeah, in
now.
the stream, in the stream. Then I'll chat to you.
Okay. All right. I'll end this. Apparently, we got secrets, folks. You are not privy to them unless you
Oh yeah.
subscribe. Ciao.